In the dark prison corridors, we are advancing in pursuit of mysterious secrets. Today, we will delve into the depths of abandoned cells and confront the ghosts of the past. Are you ready for a journey filled with chilling secrets as we investigate the mysterious traces left behind by guards and prisoners? Now, get ready for moments of fear and suspense in the abandoned cell, the ghostly guard, and the haunted yard. The door of the cell creaked on rusty hinges as a brave explorer stepped inside. The prison cell stood like an empty pit in the dead silence. However, cracks on the walls and stains on the torn bed reminded of dark events that occurred in the cell's past. As the explorer cautiously explored the cell, a deep chill began to creep over him. Terrifying guesses about who once occupied this cell filled his mind. Lines and peculiar symbols etched onto the walls bore traces of a dark history. What could these symbols mean? Suddenly, a spine-chilling sound echoed from the corner of the cell. Without hesitation, the explorer moved towards the source of the sound. But what he saw defied belief. A pale, ghostly figure began to materialize from within the wall. Its eyes gleamed with profound darkness, instilling fear into the explorer's heart. The ghostly figure silently approached the explorer and took a deep breath. At that moment, an electric charge filled the cell, and a strange aura enveloped the surroundings. The explorer's scream shattered the silence as he frantically attempted to flee. However, the door was locked, and there was no escape. The dark entity drew closer to the explorer and spoke with a faint, cold voice. Suddenly, the explorer's mind was flooded with terrifying memories and dark secrets. Confronting the ghosts of the past in the abandoned cell engulfed him like an eternity. With the first light of dawn, the door of the cell suddenly opened, and the explorer stepped outside. However, the experience he had that night would remain etched in his mind forever. The mysterious and terrifying events in the abandoned prison cell would never be forgotten. A night shift begins, and silence reigns in the prison corridors. Guard James, at his post, hears only footsteps and his own breath echoing through the prison corridors. However, a chilling whisper breaks the silence. His eyes widen as he looks around carefully, but he sees no one. Suddenly, a cold breath touches his ear, sending a shiver down his spine. He slowly turns around but sees no one behind him. His heart starts racing, and he breaks out in a cold sweat. Nevertheless, he gathers his courage and continues. At the end of the corridor, he sees a pale figure emerging from the shadows. The guard's eyes widen, and his breath catches. The ghostly figure silently approaches, takes another step, and disappears. As James's heart is about to leap out of his chest, strange sounds begin to echo through the corridors. He panics and runs, but he gets nowhere. Ghostly figures appear from the shadows and start to follow him. Eventually, the guard's courage shatters, and he decides to flee. However, no matter how fast he runs, he cannot shake off the ghostly entities following him. James escapes from the prison, drenched in sweat and filled with fear, but the nightmares he experienced that night will haunt him forever. The ghostly guards of the prison corridors forever haunt his soul, and the terrifying memories never leave him alone. Once upon a time, outside the town, in the depths of a gloomy forest, there stood a sinister prison. This prison had witnessed many tales of agony and mysterious events throughout its history. The walls of the prison were filled with dark secrets, and rumors of ghostly figures wandering the nights circulated from mouth to mouth in the town. One night, Emily, a brave member of the town, decided to visit the prison gates. Despite warnings from her friends about the dangers she might encounter, Emily's curiosity and courage could not be deterred. As she stood in front of the prison, she shuddered for a moment, but stepped inside. As she walked through the dark and silent corridors, she felt the melancholic whispers of imprisoned souls. In the depths of the corridors, she felt the presence of ghostly figures lost among the shadows. As she moved from one cell to another, she began to trace the footsteps of the ghosts of the past. In the depths, she heard the desperate cries of imprisoned souls. In the old cells, she felt the painful memories of the past. However, she continued to follow the trail of the ghostly figures and tried to unravel the dark secrets of the prison. Emily's courage continued to push her forward, even amidst the cries of imprisoned souls. As she wandered through the corridors and cells, she was prepared to confront the ghosts of the past. However, with each step, she felt herself sinking deeper. When she opened the door of a cell, there was silence inside. However, as she focused, she felt a sense of sadness and despair emanating from the walls. In one corner of the cell, she noticed an old message carved into the wall. It read, "Remember, darkness always finds a way out." Emily began to ponder the meaning of these words. The prison was not just a physical place, but also a battleground of inner struggles. Behind every wall lay the painful memories and dark secrets of the past. However, with her courage and determination, she was determined to overcome this challenge. As she slowly walked down the corridor, she felt like she was being followed. A figure lost among the shadows was approaching her. Her heart started pounding rapidly, and she looked around. However, the figure suddenly disappeared, and silence returned. Emily was now more determined than ever to unravel the mysteries of the prison. The cries of imprisoned souls and the messages on the walls were guiding her. As she continued to walk through the dark and silent corridors, she felt her courage and determination strengthen. Finally, in the depths, she reached a room. When she opened the door, she found an old journal inside. As she flipped through its pages, she found a series of notes containing the secrets of the prison and the stories of the past. Each page held a story and a lesson. As Emily read these stories, she began to understand the true nature of the prison. She continued to strive for more knowledge and to hear the voices of the imprisoned souls. Now, she was not just after the stories, but also the truth. In the mysterious world of the prison, Emily's adventure would continue forever. With each step, she would follow the traces of the past,